Hot 93.97 presents Sapphire'S Soup du Jour with Just Bob, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. Brought to you by Haylove Saloon, Adam's Apple, Janet'sCloset.com, and Janet'sDungeon.com.
Good morning. Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm wearing my leprechaun outfit because everyone's always after me Lucky Charms. That's an old joke. It's not even funny. Whatever. Happy Halloween. We got 3.5 minutes. We're listening to LL Cool J, Mama Said Knock You Out, but you can't listen. You can't sit with us, but we can't play it because FCC gets a boner. We don't need that. We're in a no boner zone. I just played a boner sound during the song, just for you, even though you can't hear it. But the listeners heard it. That means they know what's about to come. I didn't mean it like that. Whatever. I got a lot of sleep last night. We're getting a little serious today for a minute, but in a good way, right? In a good way. But we got horror stories we're going to talk about from Halloween, real life horror stories coming out of Seoul, South Korea. What is wrong with people? I think that's going to be the theme of the day. What is wrong with people? Let's see. We got comments rolling in. Good morning, Tony from Big T's Bait Shop. Chris Black, good morning. Happy Halloween. Chris Black had a great Halloween costume Saturday night. See, some people go all elaborate and they hundreds of dollars and hours to put costumes together. Others just have a good costume. Like, look at this outfit, right? This is a great costume. I'm wearing a pair of jeans underneath this mess. Perfect costume. Anyway, yeah, it was a good costume, Chris. I loved it. And it was a multifaceted. It was an 80s rocker. It was Joe Dirt with the haircut and a cleaned up. You don't look anything like Joe Dirt, by the way, Chris. All right, 1.5 minutes until we get rolling. But thanks for watching. You're watching live stream broadcast of what's soon to be a radio show. Yeah, in another 1.5 minutes, plus or minus my intro, all made by me. Yeah, I made my intro. That way I own the rights to it, right? The FCC can't get mad about that. They won't let us play Prince. They won't let us play LL Cool J, but they can't stop me from playing my intro on Facebook. So, nice. I do all my own stunts. Yeah, sure do. So, Halloween Day. Now, see, to me, we talked about it the other day, Halloween on a Monday is bonus. It's a bonus because the adults have their parties. The kids only care about the day. They don't care about Saturday night. We got to work the next day or not. They don't care. Kids don't care. Kids go, Monday's my day, right? From 5 o'clock, actually all day. Let's face it. If your kids are in school and they're not participating with costumes and candy in a day that you barely have anything going on other than fun, a little bit of learning, but socialization of children, we've now learned because of the COVID shutdowns how important that is. So socializing our kids in school, but maybe not having a really eat 'em up day of academics, still, it keeps our youth off the streets in the inner cities. It gives kids a better feeling of school. Download the free 93.97 network app. Here we go. Win prizes. Sounds stupid. I know you can see this. I don't care. There's nothing I can do about it. It's a 99-cent thing. I barely use it. I don't even know why I'm using it now. I don't need it until Bob gets back. That coffee tastes good. All right, here we go. This is serious. Quit smiling. Oh, wait. We got SpongeBob still. We got a minute. Oh. 7:05. I haven't said a word yet. I'm going to cut my paycheck. Are you dressing up for work today? Or are you... I ain't mad at you if you're not, though. Some people just, like, I used to not be into it. But now I love dressing up for Halloween, but I don't go all out. Like, I was a lame character this year. I thought I was lame. All right, now we're about to get serious. One more sip of coffee. Mexican Monday, Mexican Fiesta. Last Monday of the month, Adam's Apple. Go get you some tacos before you go trick-or-treating. Oh my goodness, the party is officially over. It's Monday morning, time to get back at it. We are live in the studio. Oh, finally back after a long weekend. Couldn't wait to get back. You listen to the Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup on WHOT Hot 93.97. Good to be back. Can't believe I made it through the weekend. Wow. I did so much yard work. I wasn't sure if I was going to be found in the yard laying there butt naked or what. No, I never do yard work naked, just so you know. So if you do drive by, you see it, you won't have to worry about offensiveness because it would be offensive. Happy Halloween, everybody. I am beside myself with, I've already ate way too much candy. I'm still buzzing from yesterday. Not the booze. Nuh-uh, I didn't drink. Right, I had a couple of little adult beverages during the Lions game, but I ate enough candy for 3 kids. I'm here to tell you, I got the jitters, and I'm drinking coffee, so it's going to be a show. Good luck keeping me on this seat all day long. That's all I got to say. But that's the way we do it over here in the du jour section. We got a lot to talk about today, not just Halloween either. But we've got some very disturbing news that came in Friday, and I was disappointed in myself that I wasn't able to latch onto this news while it broke and talk about it. We talk about the attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband on Friday morning. Look, something's got to give. We've got and it's because it's a prominent figure that we go, uh-oh, wait a minute. But we have to step back a little bit. Not just that. The Michigan State football game. You expect the audience to drink too much and to get a little bit testosterone overdose and fights break out. Some say boys being boys, and part of that to be true. But when it happens in the tunnel with the players, multiple people assaulting somebody, we have to start questioning what we're actually doing. This isn't about sports. This isn't about politics. This is about what it means to you to be an American, right? This violence, this notion of, well, they shouldn't have. No. We are all adults now. If not, you're going to be forced to act like one. But this is getting to be ridiculous. You have a guy who goes in strapped with what do they have? Zip ties, and goes into one of our leaders of this country, Nancy Pelosi's house in San Francisco. Y'all know how I feel about politicians, okay? But that's their job or whatever you call it, their thing. They are family people. They're human beings. We don't have the right, no matter who they are, no matter what they've done. You can't sit and argue with me about, well, they did this, so they deserved it. Then you are part of the problem. Just understand that. And feel free to comment. Live, we are here. You can hit us up on the app, 9397 Network, the free app. Download it. Go into the UChat area and let me know all about it. I'm not telling you I'm right. I'm telling you my point of view. Right? So for us to sit there, and I'm not even going to name names because that adds fuel to fire, right? Because then it puts people on the defensive and it's the wrong way for me to handle it. But to sit there and tell people to confront people in the grocery stores, confront people in restaurants because we're stomping our feet and didn't get our way is not the way to handle anything. Right? So now you can go back to Paul Rand being attacked, and people said, serves him right. People said, no, this is not right. You've got the Supreme Court justices who, when they did the Roe versus Wade, people were posting their private addresses on Facebook and social media so that you could go intimidate them. You are part of the problem. I have friends that I grew up with that did that. You are part of the problem. Because you decided, because your cause is more just, that you can put life in danger. And that's okay because the SOBs have it coming, right? But when the other sides do it to any just cause, I'm not talking about politics, I'm not talking about sports, anything we do nowadays leads to this. And it's excusing, it's going, well, then you shouldn't have. We squashed that crap in the 80s with date raping things, right? And stuff like that. With sexual misconduct. When you're on a date, just because she's got a mini skirt on and her boobs are showing doesn't mean that it's just up for grabs. It's not the produce department. You don't go looking through all the melons to find the right ones. Point blank. So to sit there and go, well, they shouldn't have done this, so they got what they deserved, is why we have morons at a football game, Michigan State, beating someone up in the player's area, which is, you know why? They felt like there would be no cameras there. So they didn't take accountability. These are all lessons that need to be learned that we've talked about on this show. Why do I know? Because I've been there and done that. I've not been an idiot and assaulted people for no reason because I lost, right? Nobody likes to lose. But guess what? In life, put one up to the other team on that one, you lost. And for that person that goes into Pelosi's private home looking for Nancy with zip ties and duct tape or whatever the hell they had, you're part of the problem, obviously. And anybody who says, well, her politics led to that, no. Bad behavior leads to that. Bad parenting leads to that. We can say a mental episode. You can excuse it all you want. The bad behavior is the issue. And until we go, sorry about your mental episode, sorry about your upbringing, you cannot put innocent people's lives in danger for any reason, we're going to sit in this spot. And it's stupid, period. Right? Well, there's football. We're arguing about football. These guys are so upset about a game that they attack somebody. Well, guess what? They're going to say, well, he called me a name. Well, he was making fun of us for losing. So 6 people, 8 people, whatever, stomping on them, beating on them. And then this is not about sports. This is not about politics. This is about, what the hell is wrong with you? Who taught you to act like this? Because you didn't get your way, you want to inflict violence and pain on somebody. Mama did something wrong along the way, dropped you on your head, whatever happened. I don't know, maybe should have made you lose a couple of games of sorry when you were a kid. I don't know, but something malfunctioned in there. You got some wiring wound wrong somewhere, right? Violence begets violence. We've been talking about this forever. It's our fault. Blame the police, blame the victims, blame everybody. It's your fault, my fault, it's our fault. We did this crap. But here we go. Let's attack. Now, you're going to have people that say, oh, well, they are sympathetic. Let's not even say sympathetic. I don't even know what word to regurgitate up to defend the action of somebody because of what they did. And whether or not you like Nancy Pelosi, her politics, or anything, it's inexcusable beyond 100%. And the fact that we would have people think any other different than that, even one iota, well, they had it coming. Well, you're a douchebag. Congratulations. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, feel free to hit me up. We are, again, live on the app. We are also live on social media, streaming on all of our social media sites, including 9397 Network's YouTube page. So plenty of access to join in the conversation. You go on the live stream, you go into the comments, you make a comment. If I don't see it now, I'll see it later. 9397 Network's free app. You chime in on there, you're eligible to win free prizes, right? It could be something along the lines of something sweet like this coaster. It might be tickets to the next Kanye West show. Oh, wait a minute. Don't count your eggs on that one. You got a better chance of winning this. A 9397 Network mouse pad. See, now people on the radio are going, what, Vic? I can't see. Because you're not live streaming it, and you got to learn how to party like Step Brothers. You turn on the live stream, you hit mute, and you listen on the app. You kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to adjust my lighting a little bit. It seems to me the lighting went down when I moved somewhere, but I don't know. Anyway, we do live stream as well, so we want to make sure you have every opportunity to chime in on these, especially what does it mean to be an American, right? What it doesn't mean is stomping on people's heads when you lose a football game, whether that's in the crowd or outside the crowd. It's not about when your politics go, and you can reason if you want to say, well, they don't like the LGBT, or in the Pelosi case, they're the open border, whatever excuse you want to insert in there, it is wrong. And until we are finished with this as a society, I recommend everybody watch the South Park episode of the Wild Bills. It's the Yelp episode. Just YouTube it later on when you're done with 9397 Network YouTube, and you've looked at all the videos and all the things on there, and obviously subscribed to it on YouTube. You've already downloaded the app. You've already chimed in. You're eligible for prizes. You know all the different shows that are going on. Thank you for that. When you're done with that, go check all that out. So, yeah. Anyway, it just, to me, being an American is different to everybody. What it doesn't include is violence for any reason other than self-defense, which means one person is wrong and the other one is defending themselves. Okay? That's the only reason. Because they said this, or because they wanted to ban books, and they called me a slang word for a homosexual, and so I called them a slur, and they got mad, and then they spit at me, so then I shoved them, and then they punched me, and then I stabbed them, and then they shot me, and now we both wish we'd have just stayed the hell home. Because we got where? We got nowhere, right? You got now assault charges, stab wounds, a gunshot wound, and both of you look stupid and have gotten nowhere. And your cause still lingers in the balance like a stinky fart. Why? Because it's going to continue to do so as long as humans get to be in charge of it. It's been 1862 since slavery was abolished. And we still have racial divide in this country. We could argue why and how it's still there, but it's there. Why? Simple. Humans. That's why. We're destroying the world. Just by being here breathing, eating, and pooping, we're going to destroy the world. but let's make it worse by overindulging in everything we do. Now, before we get into the whole costumes for the celebrities and all that, because they had a big shindig in Hollywood this weekend for the Halloween. And we're going to go over some of the costumes that they had, and it's pretty cool. There was some cool costumes. Some might go, well, they're insensitive to this group of people. Then you nailed it, right? I mean, Halloween's got to have a little bit of uncomfortability, insensitivity. It's just not good if everybody dresses like Martha Stewart, right? I mean, think about it. We need creativity and diversion in costume ideas, right? It's got to be different. And people, sometimes you miss the mark. Sometimes you hit a sensitive spot a little too soon. You know, the old saying, ooh, too soon. But that's the point a lot of times, too. People want to be the first one. They know it's going to be edgy. They know it's going to be a little bit controversial. So they do it. And nowadays, people are so butthurt over so many things, we can't just leave well enough alone. So throughout the day, we're going to be talking about what it means to be an American, right? And to me, my opinion of what it means to be an American. Let me start by saying it means you're free to do whatever it is you want to do in the goodness of your own home, within the legal limits of the Constitution and local civil law. Disclaimer on that, right? Do whatever you want. Obviously, murder, all those things are still applicable. You're not allowed to do those, right? So it's like, hey, privacy in my own home. I can kill who I want. No, that's not how this works. It's not how we do this, okay? We have to get back to that. Being an American, we have to first and foremost remember, and I'm a broken record, we're a melting pot. First country ever in the world to be a melting pot. Go to Italy. I mean, there's immigration, but mostly Italians. Go to Germany. Again, mostly Germany, mostly Germans. And I know there's immigration, don't get me wrong, but we do what? The Native Americans were here, and then other colonies of people came from all over the different world, the Dutch, the British, the whatevers, and I'm not a history buff, right? And they colonized over here, segregated themselves from other colonies, because if you were from one area and you didn't speak the language of another area, you certainly weren't going to move into the neighborhood. You were going to go where you assimilated. Assimilating is when you devolve, you kind of blend in what's going on. You assimilate to what's happening. It's easier to do when you speak the same language and everything like that. I dare you, double dog dare you, to go overseas and try to fit in to a country that you don't speak their language, and you're going to go live and work there. It's difficult. And if you go over there as an American, you may not be treated with the utmost respect and welcomeness. They're going to look at you with a little bit of, oh boy. So just letting you know. What does it mean to be an American? It's a melting pot. That means we've never gone through this before. You think COVID was confusing. Remember, we had to shut everything down because we didn't understand what was going on. We're a melting pot. There's no native other than the Native Americans, which duh, but we're all immigrants. And I mean, there might be people that are like, nope. Adam and Eve were hatched in New York City, and I've been there since. Whatever the thing is, you're an immigrant, more than likely. And we don't have the right to tell others how to live. There's a set of laws you have to live by. Live by them. Even if you don't want to, live by them. It's not that much to ask. You really don't have much of a chance or choice. But we choose to bend the rules, right? You know, one of my pet peeves, you're going down the road and you start speeding because you know there's no cop who can find you because there's barriers on both sides. So you speed, you break the law because you know you can't be caught. And then you slow back down because you could be caught. You're part of the problem. And I know there's a lot of people that do it and they go, oh, driving's fun and all this, and I'm in a hurry and all this. Quit. It's not funny. You're risking people's lives driving like an idiot, right? It's not funny. But people excuse the behavior because they have better things to do. They're more important. We get mad and want to attack people because we don't agree with their politics. Well, I've got news for you. Let's compartmentalize this down to reality, okay? Back in the day, had somebody broke in to, I don't know, let's go back, not too far back. Let's not go back to the 1800s. Let's go back to modern technology. 1970. Television was around, news was around, radio, very prevalent in the lives of many still, and a great source of your information coming in. An attack happens in San Francisco on a prominent politician's family member in 1970. We don't hear about it right away. It doesn't have anything to do with us, right? It's horrible news. It's completely beyond 100% unacceptable. There is no excuse for it. If anybody comes forward and says, well, or but, I wouldn't vote for them. I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't speak to them again. Get out of my 6-foot area because you're part of the problem. It just, I mean, I don't get it. Where are we at? 726. All right. I just don't get it. I don't understand that for all these years, for all of that we've learned, go back all that time to 1970 even, the news doesn't travel that far. It doesn't affect our lives until we hear it. Now with social media, now with the 24/7 news stations, just the social media network is more important than any other news source because it gets to everybody instantly. Gee, as soon as a celebrity dies, everybody turns into a journalist because everybody wants to feel connected for whatever reason. People that didn't even know Loretta Lynn were like, they had to Google her name, find out who she was, and then get on their Facebook and go, oh my God, not her. It's like, come on, right? And no disrespect to Loretta Lynn. I'm just saying that was my example, right? I don't get it. I don't get it. We worry about things we shouldn't be worried about. For instance, you are sitting there in an argument about, let's take sports, because I don't want to take anything too seriously to compare things, because then it starts a whole other issue, and then we don't talk about what we're trying to get down to the nitty gritty of. Is basically what I'm saying is if we minded our own business and only worried about what affects us in our lives, we would be a lot happier. And when you're a lot happier, you can't be pissed. You can't be both. So it's very important. And we get this information, whether it's right or wrong. We get this information, whether it's slanted to sound a certain way, and maybe it's not on purpose. Maybe the reporting is not done to slant a certain way. Maybe it's just the way you perceive the information coming in and you go, well, they shouldn't have done with this. And we automatically excuse the behavior. Before, we would never have even known about it. So basically, we had blinders on. Ignorance was bliss. We had no idea if there was a murder in San Diego. If a police officer murdered a black man in 1970 in San Diego, me in Detroit never knew about it. And by the time I did, it was cop tried, whether convicted or not. It was never breaking news, just happened. We're live on the scene. We're going to our affiliate out in San Diego right now. And now, boom, we're gathering information. The police chief's about to speak. We never had that. No disrespect to anybody, but anyone murdered in San Diego, a 1,200-mile distance from me, does not affect my life. We And let me finish before you get mad, because it affects my psyche, right? It affects my emotion. I go, that is so wrong. That guy did not deserve to get beat down in the street and killed, or whatever the case, but we're talking about just for example. And we start feeling a certain type of way about something that is sad and as outrageous and enraging as it is, has nothing to do with us. Had we not known about it, ignorance is bliss. We do now know about it. It pisses us off and we engage it, whether it be on social media or just in our mind. And we do that over and over in multiple times, just reading the morning news. If you get up like I do and I get on my social media, I read what's going on. I get on my CNN, I get on my Fox, I get on my local news so I can see what's going on in the world. I feel connected. I hate it, right? It's an addiction. But I also feel like I know how to filter it out and go, this doesn't affect me. I'm not going to get mad about it. If you have an opinion about something and you feel the need to speak it out on social media, by all means, it's your right to do so. Do it. There's nothing wrong with that. Allow other people to talk back to you and give their opinion as well. And then you're allowed to give your rebuttal. It's called communication. It's much easier to get offended and nasty with people behind a keyboard than face to face. It's not even about beating somebody up. I'm not going to beat anybody up, but we can talk easier if it's not face to face. And then you get mad and it's easier just to disrespect if that's part of what you like to do. Because we've been taught that kind of that's how we handle our stuff, right? You get mad, then we start throwing insults. You got to remember though, once you insult somebody, you can't take it back. So if you're friends, but you get into an argument and then you say, yeah, well, you always were an SOB. Well, guess what? They're always going to remember that. So words are important, very important. And we don't think about that when we're behind the keyboard as much as we do in person. Not even about tough girl, tough guy. It's about being respectful. I would never want to be disrespectful to somebody's mother in a discussion if we're sitting there talking about something, you know. Maybe you have a difference of opinion about abortion. It doesn't mean you get in a fist fight and roll around the parking lot. You differ about abortion. That's an alarming problem for me anyway. The heated abortion issue. That's a good example. We've got people that want the right to choose, and women should absolutely 100% have the right to choose. My opinion, right? But it alarms me that so many people are distraught that they can't go have an abortion when they weren't going to anyway, but they want to have that in their back pocket. The get out of jail free card, so to speak, right? To put a light spin on it. It is truly about the right to say, I have the right to choose. I agree with that completely. My problem is it's not a problem. My thing that I'm talking about is why, if you're not going to have an abortion, why is it such a big deal? I understand it's because of my rights. I get that. But we're letting it knock us out of our circle, right? And say and do things we wouldn't normally do. That's what we have to address, that we won't, because we always allow the abortion or the other issue to get in the way of actually what is the problem here. I mean, that's just me. And maybe abortion's a bad example because I want to make sure I specify my stance on it as I believe women have the right to choose. I mean, I'm against abortion. I think it's a bad choice, but it isn't my choice to make. So it's really simple. I mean, when it comes down to it, the separation of church and state, it's a no-brainer. I mean, because every argument I've got about abortion is it's religious reasons, and so I'm all for the woman's right to choose. However, that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about what is wrong with people. What gives us the right to go inflict pain, misery on others, whether it be stealing their property. We never meant to hurt nobody. We were just stealing their stuff. We got to do better. We know better. Walking through, all my training and stuff, military and stuff, I'm always on the alert. I'm always looking. I don't sit with my back to the door. I'm always one of those, but I'm not all paranoid, but I just want to see what's going on, right? And walking through grocery stores, I see so much theft. The classy man who steals condoms. And I think to myself, the poor girl on the receiving end of that condom. Do you know that your man stole them from a grocery store on his way over? Does that moisten you up real good? Not me. You come over and be like, I stole some flowers in the condom, want to do it? Get out of my house. Go back to wherever you came from, which is probably your mom's house, which we already know that's not a bad thing. We talked about that. Don't get mad at me. 25 and over, living at home, not a bad thing anymore. People automatically think, oh, well, loser. No, not necessarily. Double winner, maybe. Huh? Maybe won't get laid very much, but hey, you never know. You've got to find somebody more like you. So, all right, we are going to break. When we get back, we got a lot to talk about. What happened in Seoul, South Korea. I'm going to give you a lesson in making sure you know what you're talking about when you write a story or when you talk about something and you want it to be taken seriously. We're going to give you a great lesson. Unless, of course, there is a hurricane in the middle of the country. Anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about coming up later on Sapphire'S Soup du Jour. We're just getting rolling. It feels like a Friday, but it's a Monday. It's Halloween. I'm wearing my costume, if you will. All right, have a good day. Just kidding. I wish it was time to go. Enjoy the music. We'll be right back. All right. Now we got to keep this down so you all can't hear it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, I need to drink some coffee. We're going to be talking about food, shortages, and things. It's like, we got to pull this together, America. We got to talk about beating the system here, right? We need to grow gardens. We need to start taking care of our communities. I'm not about big government. Government intrusion is the demise of our happiness. We need the government. We need them to do what we ask them to do. They represent us. We have allowed them to be our leaders. No. We're their leaders, right? And it's more than just at the ballot box. It's emailing them when they screw up. It's emailing them when things are in your town that you want changed, right? Garbage is a big thing. There was shortages for garbage. Well, when the garbage don't get picked up, rats come around, other rodents come around. It becomes gross. It becomes stinky, and especially in the summer. So, people need to have their garbage picked up. And when there's a shortage and your garbage sits out there, that's a big problem. That's a bigger problem than a lot of the other things that we worry about all the time, that we're continually worrying about. But it does not feel like Monday. I work too much. I was off yesterday, a whole day off. I spent it at the Apple day drinking. Yeah. Great. Aha. You can't listen. We're going to be talking about, in another country, a woman not only breaks the glass ceiling, she smashes it. We're going to talk about that coming up later. Poor life choices, we've got that today. Plenty being made over the weekend. We've got at least two for examples. Yeah, my glasses are like real dirty. It's like I cleaned them with mud pie or something. I don't get it. It's hard to keep glasses clean, man. I'll tell you what. I constantly, I buy them packs and go right through them. Brush the tip off a little, Get makeup all over the microphone. I told them I got my own covers, and they said, nope, we got plenty. Okay. If you want my lips all over your business, then I'm your girl. All right, time to change the banner. Bing. Oh man. I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about some horror stories too. Just fun. Like, I don't even know if they're real or not, but Halloween, scary stories. And then we got a couple of other fun things we're going to talk about too. But then we're going to still talk about what it means to be an American and what it means to you, because I know what it means to me. And we're missing a big key word, and it might be even a phrase. Well, don't tread on me has always been a thing. I think an American slogan, right? Don't tread on me works two ways, right? It's not don't tread on you, but you can tread on people that you don't see eye to eye with. It's don't tread on me, which is if everybody cannot be tread upon, then you should be not treading. If that makes any sense, right? Freedom. We talked the other day about freedom of speech. Kanye West, yay, is a perfect example of freedom of speech. Roseanne Barr, a perfect example of freedom of speech. We could argue what they've said was good, bad, or indifferent, but socially, the outcome was what they were, and it's still for Kanye, still fallout. There's no, it is what it is, but they have the right to say things. You also got to remember, do you want to say things, right? I don't understand social media. First and foremost, if it wasn't for me being in the multimedia field, I wouldn't do social media too much. I would observe, right? But I really feel confident, and I'm kind of proud of myself with my ability to not get spun up about people's opinion about something if it differs from mine, right? If you don't hold my political point of view, I don't care. We have that right, right? I don't have the right to wish harm or bad. I want every American to have a successful life and to feel what it's like to be an American. When you fly over Panama and Costa Rica, and I'm not bad mouthing these countries, a lot of people live with a lot less than we have, including windows in their homes, including transportation for leisure to go do whatever the hell it is we want to do, right? We feel like saving up for a year so we can go on vacation somewhere. Could you imagine a country that they don't have that? Like, what? We don't even have a vehicle to get to the store hardly. We take a mule to get food, and we don't even go to a Kroger. We don't go to Publix. We don't go to Piggly Wiggly. We stop at the farmer's house, and then we stop at the butcher's house, and we buy our stuff that we get, and then we'll kill a couple animals along the way home for dinner. And we think we got it so bad, right? We throw out more food than other people eat in a year as a family, right? And I mean, we can all do better, all of us in every realm. But in order to really understand what it means to be an American, and here's what prompted this for me. I got a neighbor who barely speaks English. I have no problem with that. I live in Dearborn, Michigan. A lot of people in Dearborn, Michigan speak broken English, if none at all, or very little. And I don't have a problem with that. That is part, they are American as long as they're here legally, and this is their citizenship. They're American, if not illegally, as long as they assimilate into our country and be American. But to me, American is cutting your grass, right? Well, I don't even want to get into it because we're not on the air. So we'll talk about it, but we're not going to talk about it right now. But it just so much in this world going on that is preventable. And we're going to continue to discuss that in a few, but we're going to stop talking about that part right now because it's part of the show. So you get a little bonus. Then part of the show for the first 3 minutes will be boring for you because you already heard it, but maybe I'll say it differently. Because I don't write a lot of stuff down. I talk. That's what I do a lot. Too much, according to most people I know at the wonderful Adam's Apple. They tuned me out. They told me, they go, no, we just like to hear you talk, but when we're done, we just like, you're just like the radio in the background of the dentist. Just blah. And I go, cool, thanks. But they're honest. That's good friends, see? They're honest. They're like, girl, you don't stop. No, I sure don't. Actually, I do. Yesterday I was quiet. Had a couple beers. Beer's mellow, right? If I drink a screwdriver, it's vodka. I get all wound up and I'm, oh. Yesterday I'm sitting there watching the Lions play and, people are like, what's the matter, Sapphire? You're awful quiet. I'm like, I'm drinking beer. It makes your belly big and burping and just kind of quiet, but it's a Sunday after a big party. We had a big costume party at the Adam's Apple. Well, they did. I just attended. And it's just a good time. And then the next day, you come back over, you're getting a Bloody Mary and the food's out. And Jacques turned 86, I believe, had an 86th birthday at the bar for a man who can walk into the bar, knows he's there, and he's got all of his wits about him. And I mean, what a blessing. And it was great to spend the time with them yesterday with Jacques, turning, I think, 86 years old. What a blessing. And we spending our lives in the greatest country in the world. And we could argue about that if you want to. I can't say you're wrong if you disagree. But man, we got a lot of good things in this country that other people don't have. And one of them, the Constitution, our right to free speech, our right to be who we are, our right to free press, our right to all the things we have the rights to. And nothing's perfect, but remember, the human element is what makes it imperfect. The concept of America is land of the free, home of the brave. That's another story. Not everybody needs to be brave. Everybody needs to be free. And we remain free by the ones who choose to be brave. And it's okay if you are not a military person. If you're a man in America and you are not into the military whatsoever, there's no shame in that. You're not bound. I wish everybody would serve 4 years. It is so helpful in life, but I would never want to say you have to, because that's not what it's about. It's about wanting to serve. And we're blessed to be in that position. We won't go into what Russia's going through right now. We won't go into other countries and how they handle things. But in America, we're blessed. And if you choose to serve your country, I feel like you get paid well and the benefits are good. And I don't think anybody's looking to get rich off of it, but you're given it's a good way of life. And you could argue that because some people would say, nope, I did 10 years or 4 years. I know all about it. And for some, I can dig it. For some, I can dig it. Be like, nope, not for me. Screw that. I liked it. And there were a lot of sacrifices to be made, right? You couldn't live normal life. You're not allowed to have a political opinion in the military. You correction. Everyone's allowed to have a political opinion. Not everybody's allowed to share it. And in the military, you're not allowed to be at events for the Democratic or Republican side. You're not allowed to be at events that they hold, official events. You're not allowed to be at protests and things like that, because we fight for everybody's right to do that. When George Floyd was murdered in the streets of Minneapolis, people protested. You got to have that right. We cannot go out as fighting people, as military, and partake in a protest like that, because we also defend the side that thinks they had it coming. That's the hard part to swallow in America. That's why it's so hard to get the point across. Violence is not the answer. Nancy Pelosi, whether you like her politics or not, whether you think she's criminal or not, does not give anyone the right to lay a hand on somebody. And the dangerous rhetoric, as they call it, and all that, it does have to stop. It's not okay for Donald Trump to get attacked because he's an SOB. It's not okay for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris to get attacked because they don't know what they're doing. It's not okay. It's not okay for the Michigan State players to attack a Michigan player, because it's probably going to be said the same thing. It probably was not okay for the Michigan player to be a sore winner and flaunting it. Who knows what prompted the attack? Doesn't matter. We can't do it. We got another about 5.5 minutes before we go back on the air. We're still on music break, so I'm not on the air right now, but we're talking. So how about now? The problem is not, well, the problem is the violence, but the problem is we've got to be able to get back to the point of, man, I'd like to kick their butt, but we don't act on it, right? It's just words. We're not actually going to do that. But nowadays we do that, and it's silly. It gets us nowhere. You know, when you're not accountable for things and you think nobody's looking and you do it anyway, like take, for instance, the MSU Michigan attack. They were in the players' tunnel, which is notorious for trouble, right? Two teams going into the same tunnel at the same time. And you can't let one go after the other, because the other team's going to slag behind, so the other team can't get in for the full break. They got to be able to go together. And that ain't the problem. The problem is we can't any longer have a good, heated, civil rivalry. It has to turn violent. Most of the fun of sports is the rivalry, right? Packers come to the Lions. It's hardly a rivalry, but whatever. The Patriots go to the Steelers. Name them. I mean, there's tons. Cowboys and 49ers. Packers and 49ers. Packers and Cowboys. I mean, all of these rivalry games. Ohio State and Michigan. Big rival. Relevant, once again, for decades not relevant, because Ohio State has had the upper hand. But big rivalry. And it turns into a hatred where people are not safe to walk around Columbus, Ohio in a maize and blue jersey, and vice versa. Generally, everybody in Columbus, Ohio are great people. Then you get the people that drink too much, testosterone driven, the game was heated, whatever happened. I'm not going to let my player get disrespected like that. That was clipping, whatever. And then, screw you and F you. And the next thing you know, there's a fight. Maybe worse. You're supposed to be having fun. I don't even know why I'm using the microphone. I'm just on from 7 to 10. But we lose track of that. And now it's bled into the whole confront them in the stores, confront them here, confront. No. During the whole thing, people, during the Black Lives Matter movement thing, when it was all really hot and heated there at the moment, people interrupting dinners, innocent people, making them pledge allegiance to their cause, or they're flipping their drinks and tables over on them and stuff, intimidating them, yelling in their faces. No, that's not what this is about. Protest is not illegal activity. Trespassing on a restaurant to get your point across, tipping over cars, doing things, stopping traffic for things, and then people run you over because you're surrounding their car and they don't know you, and they see it on TV all the time, a heated moment. Get out of there, right? You're going to get your car tipped over. You're going to be no, none of it's acceptable. You're not allowed to stand in the street and stop traffic on a major interstate. If you get run over, you can't get mad at the people, but we do. And then you'll argue, well, that's how things get done. No, it's not. That's how things have been done, and we've been doing them since 1860. But go back and look at the issues in society in 1860, and we've still got them today. So no, violence has been the way we do it. It's not the way we get things done. I'm right. I'm sorry about it. You want to beat me up? Okay, I'm still going to say it with a black eye. I mean, that's the reality we have to face. We have to get rid of the immature, childish urge to, if you're a big, tough man, big, burly guy, going to beat everybody up that doesn't see your point of view. Really? And then your kids are going to look up to you? That's scary. You're part of the problem. All right, 20 seconds. Trick-or-treating. Whoop, whoop. Not a good time for the computer to go out. All right, Big Papa almost done. That's a great freeze shot right there. Another great shot. Nothing like the computer freezing when it looks like you're picking your freaking nose. In fact, we got a story about picking your nose, so that's perfect. All right, we are back. You got to love social media. You got to love the internet and all of the ways it can be peculiar. All right, we're back on Halloween. It's Monday, October 31st. Happy Halloween to all you spooky, ghouly people out there. Another one of those things. Is Halloween supposed to be scary or not? I think some people would think yes, and some people would think no. And I would say you're right. I would think mostly little kids would be not so into the scary part of it. But anywho, here we sit, ready to go. Over the weekend, Hollywood had themselves quite a little party, right? And if you're watching on a live stream broadcast, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We're freezing up like crazy. And no, I wasn't picking my nose, but we do have a story about picking your nose later on and what can happen to you if you do pick your nose. Bad things. And it's not just like the mom said, if you stick your finger in your nose long enough, it'll stay there. No, we're talking about serious health issues potentially. So it's going to be worth sticking around for a little bit for that. But until then, we're going to talk a little bit about Hollywood, Halloween, and the big old party at Casamigos in Beverly Hills Friday night, where I think hands down Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly won the party. They won the costume contest more than likely if they had one. Going is Pam and Tommy, Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly channeled Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee at the Casamigos Halloween party in Beverly Hills, California, Friday night. Josh Duhamel and his wife, Audra Marie, I don't know, appeared to arrive as J. Howard Marshall and Anna Nicole Smith, including the old age makeup and a walker, which somebody will say, well, that's sensitive to people that can't walk. You know what? It's sensitive about everything. Calm down. Okay, so Tyga, Tyga, donned a very realistic E.T. head. Paris Hilton was a Sailor Moon. Oh, Vanessa Hudgens was a Black Swan. This was one hosted by Prince Michael Jackson at the Jackson family home in Encino, California. She went as a Black Swan. I mean, when money is no object, imagine the costumage you can make. Now add, you are in the Hollywood elite realm. Not only do you have the money, you have the people that you know that can make these costumes for you. So they better be fierce. You better not look like a drag queen on a Saturday night in Vegas, okay, Hunty? You better have it stepped up a notch or two. Lizzo shared galleries of her photos of her Marge Simpson getup, complete with head-to-toe yellow skin. You can't do yellow face. The people who like sprinkling will be mad. All the golden shower people will be like, you can't do yellow face. It makes fun of our fetish. And she had the towering blue wig to boot. Oh, you remember the two twins in The Shining? Jessica Alba posed with her daughter as the eerie twins standing in a hotel hallway. Ooh, now that one would be interesting. See, I like that. One of our good listeners and my good friends Stu and Rich went as the Smurfs, Papa and his whole bag. Papa Smurf and the whole bag. I don't know if it was Mama Smurf or the little one, the little trick on the side. The little Monica's, would it be, no, not really Monica Lewinsky, because she was just a warm apple pie. She really wasn't a side piece. It was just somewhere to put it for the moment. Like, hey, you know what? I've got one and you want one. So this works out really well, doesn't it, honey? Yeah, that's good. Cute for you. Are you going trick-or-treating? I'm not. Am I passing out candy? No. You know why? Nobody comes around. I think they're scared of me. I think my neighbors keep their distance. No. Actually, my neighbors are fine. Most of them. There's one little iffy, but, not on the offender list on the state police website, so we're good to go there. All right. So we want to see your costume. All right. You can't waste it. Photos are a must. You got to send them. I'm going to make this as easy as I can for you. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. There we go.
Hey, good morning.
Bob. How you doing?
Good morning.
All right. Don't forget your headphones.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. We're going to make this easy. I want pictures. We want pictures of your costumes. So you can either do it on the app. We recommend it. If you post your picture on the app, you get eligible immediately to win prizes, right? We don't even handle that. We have a whole entire firm that handles that. Kidding. Go on the UChat part of the app, and you'll see it looks just like social media. And you can post your picture of your costume. We're not having a contest. Coolest costume don't win. It's bragging rights, right? Social media, my page, Sapphire Pates, Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, 9397 Network, go on the YouTube. I don't think you can post pictures on YouTube. But we want to see your pictures, so post them. We want to see them. On here, we're doing live stream. If you're in your costume at this time of day and you want to share it with us, maybe you're on your way to work. Maybe if you're in France, you're at lunch right now, having a little wine with your lunch, and an Aloha Friday type of day. An Aloha Friday is you leave at noon, you don't come back.
Right.
It's lunchtime and gone, baby. It doesn't have to be 80 degrees to have an Aloha Friday. You just
no
have
way.
To have a Friday.
That's all.
And a job. Can't leave your job at noon if you don't have a job. I mean,
yeah, there's that.
You're just an alcoholic.
I don't know about
and
that.
Alcohol was involved in one of our poor life choices.
Usually is, isn't it?
This computer just lags behind so bad, and we're trying to do live stream. We're trying to run a show. Not easy. But we're doing the best we can. And when I get to the story, we're going to talk about it. But for now, we're just struggling to keep afloat.
And we are doing that.
Barely. But this guy he gets drunk, obviously. But you got to see the costume. And I can't get to it. Everything on our whole computer is frozen. So happy Monday. Yeah, we got to like it. Everything, And this is a new computer. It's not like we're using the 1916 computer here. But that's the way it goes.
The internet's groggy this morning.
It is. It is. But I don't understand this, but the outfit is perfect. All right. This guy in a fireball costume gets arrested for DUI, resisting arrest. I'm waiting for it to come up again. This is just terrible. I mean, I'm going to have to bring my computer. We're going to have 3 computers in here. One to run the broadcast, one to run the radio show, and one to look up information in a timely manner. Drunken conduct, right? This is 3:20 in the morning.
Yeah, well, that's about right.
In his Fireball cinnamon whiskey costume, which is no explanation needed. You know what it looks like, a bottle.
True.
So Dominic Salazar, 31, booked into the county lockup at 3:20 a.m. And he's proud too. He's got a grin on his face, like, yeah, I can't wait until this goes viral. 6 foot, 293 pounds Salazar, wearing his Fireball costume in his mugshot with a smile. Assortment of felony, misdemeanor, and vehicular counts, right? They went on to say that this whiskey outfit retails for about $45, 100% polyester, and intended for adults of legal drinking age. Fireball website says, Halloween is all about letting your wildest dreams come true. So this year, become a human-sized bottle of Fireball. You're welcome. You heard it here first.
That's your wildest dream, huh? Yeah.
Drunken conduct. Driving drunk. Mamas, don't let your children grow up to be bottles of Fireball.
Fireballs, yes. Who you calling fireballs?
I resemble that remark.
That's right.
Poor life choices. Poor Halloween costume too, but better than mine.
Well, at least he had one.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, alcohol was involved in that. You can bet. And since we're on it, since we're on the subject, poor life choices.
Poor life choices.
This is a story of the apple that doesn't fall far from the tree.
Okay.
2 men arrested in South Tulsa, Oklahoma, after they ransacked an AT&T store. But they weren't caught in the act. 2 men, father and son, arrested Sunday in connection to a burglary at the AT&T store. This is how they spend their mornings. Some families go to church and then afterwards they go to breakfast, right?
Right.
And maybe go visit grandma and grandpa, and then you're home for the afternoon. You watch the football game, you get ready for your next week, and it's a beautiful American dream, right? Part of being an American.
That's right.
Not these 2 clowns. Around 7:50 a.m. Sunday morning, they arrive at AT&T, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not too soon after, the police come too in response to the store's alarm system and power being cut off. One of the windows broken out and the store being ransacked.
Early morning shopping.
Yeah. They got away with, let's see, they got away with display phones.
Mm-hmm.
They got away with some phone chargers and other miscellaneous items.
Right.
And they did more damage than they got away with goods. They did over $1,000 in damage.
Oh, that's totally believable. Yeah. But those stores aren't set up anymore to have a lot of merchandise in them. It's one of those things where you do go in there and they have the display models for you to look at and to try out, but it's not like they stock them. Everything that you go in there for, that you have to order it and it gets delivered. So he wouldn't have got away with a whole lot.
Well, exactly. So they didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
So the officers get there. The place is ransacked. The guys got away, right? But the police find a used phone in the building. Well, they take it. It was evidence. The officers leave. The men come back. One man comes back in the store, says, "I'm Matt Damon. I left my phone here." Well, his name is Dylan Slack. He wanted to retrieve his phone. So he comes back to the place of the crime. They go, "It wasn't here. The police got it. They've got it. You can go get it from them." So he tears out of there in his Jeep Cherokee with the missing right fender. Well, Mr. Matt Damon, a.k.a. Dylan Slack, was arrested shortly after the police found him. And then they found his father, who admitted to the burglary, and they both got arrested.
Well, a little family time in jail together, you know. Like father, like son.
Yeah. Once again, poor life choices.
Poor life choices.
I mean, really, how bad you got to be? Not only is today Halloween, do you know what today is?
What is today?
Today is National Knock Knock Joke Day.
Really? I suppose of all days. Yeah, get all the foolishness over with at once.
Yeah. I'm about to end this broadcast. It's making me angry.
Let me try something. Let me bounce out of here and bounce back in and see if that does anything.
It's not you.
No?
It's the
Okay.
internet. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not you. But, yeah, so it's National Knock Knock Joke Day.
Knock,
You know
knock.
any knock
Who's
knock
there?
jokes? I do. Knock knock.
Who's there?
A little old lady.
A little old lady who?
I had no idea you could yodel.
Ah, 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 ah.
Knock, knock.
Now who's there?
Who?
Who?
Whom? I don't get it. I don't think I said it right.
I guess not.
Oh, well, I don't have any saved up. And since the computer's on part-time work this morning, we're not telling many of those again. But it is National Knock Knock Day, Knock Knock Joke Day.
I suppose that's
Halloween.
good old wholesome family fun.
Caramel Apple Day as well, which goes
Well, now that
bobbing for apples and all
see,
the
I can
other
get behind that one.
jazz.
Caramel apple with nuts.
Oh, very frustrating. Yeah. So we was talking earlier about food shortages and the like.
Right.
Okay. In September, the price of butter and margarine went up 32%.
Noticed that. I did notice that.
Why?
That's what I said. Why?
Oil went up.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
The ingredient in margarine partially responsible. The
Okay.
war in Ukraine and tightening supplies of milk also are playing a role. Okay. Milk should be made in America because it comes from cows.
Moo. Yep.
Why are we getting our milk from anywhere other than America?
I don't
Just a
know.
question.
I don't know.
I'm sure the Democrats and the Republicans will have a great freaking stupid answer. But why is milk being talked about as part of the tightening supply?
Yeah, I don't quite understand it, and I
Cows
know
quitting.
we're all done. We're on holiday, cow holiday. I don't know.
I mean,
No, and it is weird too because the price of milk, price of dairy in general has gotten crazy in some spots, and yet in other spots it's not nearly as bad.
and they're loving it. They're laughing all the way to the bank because they're going, these bumbling idiots are arguing over whose fault it is when we are the ones reaping the benefits of it. Dum-dums.
Yeah.
Butter, 32% increase because tightening supplies of milk. What?
But milk has gone up a lot in price. Milk. I've seen milk. I saw milk the other day for $6.39 a gallon.
That's ridiculous.
And yet, when I went to the other grocery store later on, it was $3.49.
So gas prices went up like crazy, and milk said, "Hold my beer."
Right.
But now everybody's doing it. We can write it off as well. The name your political enemy here, and then we go. Remember, the president had nothing to do with rising gas prices, and it was a political argument between the two sides. Now the president has actually lowered the gas prices. Why? Because we're a couple days away from a midterm election.
That's right.
And we are stupid enough to eat that poop for dinner. Potatoes, another lesson about being an American. Let's start growing gardens again.
Sure.
Potatoes, a 1-2 weather punch has sent spuds for a loop this year. In the spring, cool weather in Idaho, Colorado, and Wisconsin slowed potato growth. A hot summer didn't help matters. As a result, the supply of potatoes is low, but demand is high. Grow your own potatoes. They grow in the ground. It can't be difficult. It can't be that hard. We're not talking about growing 4 acres. We're talking about growing enough. I don't know how many grow and how often it takes to grow, how you can sustain a family with potatoes. I don't know that. But small family, at least maybe you can cut it in half. Right?
Sure.
Maybe you can cut potato spending in half. If everyone bought half of the potatoes, the farmers are going, screw you, bitch, shut your mouth. But if you're having a shortage, it would help alleviate the shortage.
Right.
Grow your own. Olive oil. A terrible drought in Spain this summer is resulting in a dramatically lower harvest of olives this fall. Some trees are producing very little fruit, some producing no fruit at all. That'd be my luck. You extend the olive branch and there's not an olive on it. Be like, this is over. Get away from me. You're just poking the bear now. Uh-oh.
I'm going to grab this and smack you with it.
All right, we got music stopped for a minute, but that's okay because we got music started back up again. We rambled right through. So, yeah, now this is where things get serious. Beer.
No, say it isn't so.
Oh, wait a minute. A shortage of beer? This is one that's going to be hard to swallow, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
A lack of carbon dioxide in the United States. The gas used for putting fizz into drinks has stymied breweries and food suppliers. Some smaller breweries have had to suspend operations while others are trying their luck using nitrogen as a substitute. So if you down your beer and you shoot through the roof, you know it was nitrogen. A lack of carbon dioxide. All right.
Okay.
I'm no chemist. I spelled chemistry with a K. How do we make carbon dioxide? Monoxide comes from farting.
Well, and carbon dioxide, plants were supposed to provide more oxygen by breathing. Plants breathe in the carbon dioxide and breathe out the oxygen. So what do we now have? Too many plants? Is there too much green going on across the world all of a sudden? Is there, to have a carbon dioxide shortage? That's absurd.
According to this, I don't see how it could be a problem. Oceans provide the greatest annual amount of CO2, carbon dioxide, of any other natural or anthropogenic source. Other sources of natural CO2 include animal and plant respiration, decomposition of organic matter, forest fires, and emissions from volcanic eruptions. Natural sources of carbon dioxide include animals, which exhale carbon dioxide as a waste product. Human activities that lead to carbon dioxide emissions come primarily from energy production, including burning coal, oil, and natural gas. So everything that we're doing is bad for this world should be making an abundance of CO2.
Exactly.
But in the name of we got to have a shortage in something so we can raise prices on everything, beer is a necessity to many people. Period. It is. I mean, people need it. They want it. They want it so bad they need it. They decided it is a personal, self-made need. A lack of carbon dioxide in the U.S. So there's barriers now.
So now just in the U.S., yeah.
Yeah, just the U.S. The lack of carbon dioxide in the U.S. has stymied breweries and food suppliers. How do you take this seriously? How do you take this seriously?
You can't. We've done such a good job then. We've done such a good job of trying to clean up global warming and all of that by reducing our carbon dioxide that now we have a shortage. So I'm waiting for the next big freeze then.
I mean, it's almost as if you got somebody who goes, hey, we've got 4 apples and we need them to think there's 8. How can we do this? Well, we'll break up the problem. 2 plus 2 is 8. And then the guy goes, good job. That's why we pay you so much. That's how stupid this sounds.
Yeah, it does.
The lack of a naturally produced thing throughout the whole entire earth. There's a shortage in the U.S. The gas used for putting fizz into drinks has stymied. And we're supposed to take this seriously.
All right, everybody grab a straw and shove it into the beer and breathe out.
Wait, we're not done. There's a shortage of spaghetti sauce.
Oh no.
Oh, right. California is the global center for the production of processing tomatoes, the kind of tomatoes that get canned and are used to make tomato-based products. But a nasty drought has destabilized California's tomato crop, threatening the supply of spaghetti sauce. Things are not much better in Florida, where Hurricane Ian ripped up the tomato crop. Grow your own. If it's not enough to supply a complete amount for your family, it's enough to help subsidize it.
Yeah.
So
tomatoes are easy.
Taking back a little bit of power.
Yeah.
Now, you can't, not necessarily can you have a cow for free milk. Not necessarily can you have a chicken farm for chicken, right? But you can grow tomatoes and potatoes.
Right.
And not buy into the shortage they're claiming.
Well, and then put the money you saved into the milk where there is the shortage. And at least you still that, but you've been able to deal with the shortage financially. I don't know. This world is
just in time for Thanksgiving, Bob.
Yeah.
Number 6 on the list of 10, turkey.
Turkeys. I heard this the other day.
Yeah. Well, of course. And then you know what's going to happen, though? Uncle Joe is going to, last minute, mid-November, come through with some kind of executive order that pardons 4 million turkeys, and all of a sudden, turkey for everybody, vote for me.
That's right.
Just in time for the holidays, turkey meat has gone into hiding. The avian flu and supply chain woes already impacting restaurants. So look for a shortage of turkeys on your Thanksgiving dinner table. Yeah, I doubt that. But we'll see.
So if you skip turkey,
last year. Get your turkey early because they're not going to be any when you get there. You can get it for 39 cents a pound the day before because everybody's trying to get rid of their pounds of turkeys they didn't have before. They got piles of them.
Sure. Well, that was the supply chain's fault too. So
call me cynical. I don't buy it.
Well, they're just trying to mess up Thanksgiving now because if you can't have a turkey because you can't find one, you could make a nice lasagna, except that you don't have the spaghetti sauce to put inside the lasagna. So now you can't make that. So you settle for your cornflakes and milk, except milk is $6.50 a gallon. So you can't really do that either. So what do you want? What are we supposed to do? Yeah.
In recent years, the supply of rice has grown larger. But that ended this year, of course, when severe drought conditions from China to California took their toll. U.S. rice production is expected to drop to its lowest level in 3 decades. But U.S. rice production might be dropping to its lowest level because companies aren't making it anymore. There was a controversy with the renaming of Ben's Original from the previous name.
Yeah.
Just not a turn off, but the controversy is a turn off to people. Like I don't want nothing to do with this. Not for rice, but in general. But all this one is really on my mind. I'm not sure if I can continue. Hard red winter wheat. How do we use hard red winter wheat for?
I thought it had a use in baking bread, special, different kind of bread or something. But no, it's not. You're not one of your everyday commodities. That's for sure.
Many breads, hard rolls, croissants, Asian noodles, and flour. So they're hard red winter wheat makes flour.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, of course, there's a shortage of this. We're all on drugs. Amoxicillin. Shortage of amoxicillin. Running short. And baby formula. We know that.
Baby formula. Yeah.
Still, I guess it's certain specific things because there's a lot of formula in the grocery stores, but just not the ones people need.
Yeah, different ones. I guess we're stuck with an abundance of Halloween candy today, so I guess there's no shortage of that.
No, there's no shortage of junk food. No, there's no
Right.
shortage of any garbage. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of sugar to go around.
Right. Have more than you can eat.
Plenty of everything else. Right. You know, I don't know. It's crazy to me. I think we're past due for break, aren't we?
We're right about that time.
Mm. All right, we're going to break.
All right.
When we get back, oh, we're going to be talking about a lady from another country. The glass ceiling is not just an American issue. We're starting to see the pattern that this show reveals.
Mm-hmm.
That everyone in the world, not just America, experiences the same kind of troubles, and we're all going through the same kind of things.
Right.
So it has to help us be able to learn and move forward to be better. But we'll see. I bet we don't.
We don't learn easily.
All right, we're going to break. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. Keep it locked. Little DMX posthumously. All right, you got to run. Huh?
All right. Yeah, I got to go take care of business.
All right, I'll see you later. If not, then I'll see you Wednesday.
Yeah, well, we'll talk before then. But it'll be interesting to see when I jump off here if the computer behaves itself better.
I doubt it will. I think I had a bad file open or something. It seems to have slowed, sped back up.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will chat with you later. Have a great one.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye. Hi. Yeah, buddy. My coffee's tasting good, but I've been talking so much that I'm still full. All right. Speaking of coffee, what goes in must come out. I gotta go potty. Time to use the ladies' room. BRB.
Welcome to Adam's Apple, your neighborhood LGBT bar serving all your favorite drink. With friendly and knowledgeable bartenders that keep the party going and make sure your needs are met.
It's the cheers of the gay bar. Your bartenders know who's coming in, where they're going to sit, how long they're going to be.
Kick back and enjoy some fresh air on their large enclosed heated patio. Open year-round with music and weekly barbecues. Karaoke every Thursday night where you're the star. And Mexican Fiesta on the last Monday of every month. Located at 18931 West Warren, Detroit, Adam's Apple.
Hi again. Pick the right one. It's going to be a good day. We're back. All right, happy Halloween. Hopefully you have all your plans in place, getting the little kids out there trick-or-treating tonight. Hopefully the weather is nice in your neck of the woods, as they like to say. I don't know if you're into trick-or-treating or not, but we need more things for kids to do. So trick-or-treating is a good thing. It's an exciting time of year. But let's not ruin it like adults like to do everything. So, oh, Twitter. We're going to talk a little bit about Twitter and Elon Musk. And is this a good thing that he bought Twitter? Is this going to be an open field for everybody to just say what they want? Well, this two-folded story here, right? Elon Musk on Sunday gave credence to a fringe conspiracy theory about the violent attack on Paul Pelosi, the inexcusable, 100% unacceptable assault and attack on Paul Pelosi in front of the police, mind you. 112 million followers does Elon have on his Twitter platform, right? So the article, he tweeted a link to an article about Pelosi full of what they're saying baseless claims, right? The article posted on a website that purports to be a news outlet. Be careful who you consider a news outlet, right? So reputable, credible, we could argue that about everyone, right? If you like CNN, Fox is not credible. If you like Fox, CNN is not credible. So there's always that. Musk has a 112 million followers on Twitter, right? So he posted the story about Pelosi in response to a tweet from Hillary Clinton. He deleted the tweet around 2 p.m, but it already racked up more than 28,000 retweets and 100,000 likes. So basically linking LA Times story about Pelosi's attacker, alleged attacker, Hillary Clinton wrote, quote, "The Republican Party and its mouthpieces now regularly spread hate and deranged conspiracy theories. It is shocking, but not surprising, that violence is the result. As citizens, we must hold them accountable for their words and their actions that follow," end quote. I won't even get into it. Take it for what it's worth. In response, Elon Musk linked the story of the conspiracy theory from this self-proclaimed news source. And he wrote, after he posted the link, quote, "There is a tiny possibility there might be more to this story than meets the eye." A little pimping of the conspiracy theory. And I know people are going, well, what do you expect? He's going to allow anything and everything on their thing now, even if it's misinformation, which is another argument all in itself, right? What's misinformation for me might be absolute truth to you, and vice versa. But again, going back to the beginning of our day, being an American is part empathy, part compassion, and part standing on your morals in your home, right? Now Elon Musk's post, I mean, it comes amid the concerns about the billionaire running Twitter, and misinformation and hate will be a bigger platform on the site now, right? That's a big concern. Well, then, let's switch gears to a person named Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes was banned from Twitter. He's a white nationalist, all right? He was banned on Twitter previously banned on Twitter, right? Well, Elon Musk buys Twitter, and everybody's afraid that it's going to be open season, free for all. People can say whatever they want, even inflict violence, everything. Well, Nick Fuentes says, great, I'm back on. Wait a minute. Twitter rebanned Nick Fuentes after he made a new account on Saturday. So what does this matter? Well, not only Nick Fuentes, but other far-right figures were previously banned by Twitter have attempted to return to the platform since it was purchased by Elon Musk last week. Elon Musk has emphasized that he wants the company to prioritize free speech. So these people who don't understand what free speech envelopes completely, there's more to it than just saying what you want. You can think whatever you want. Freedom of speech comes with limitations. People are finding that out the hard way, right? Public opinion and legally. And just because what you say may be legal, it certainly may not sit well in the stomachs of society. Elon Musk emphasizes that he wants the company to prioritize free speech. However, he has clarified that speech on the platform would need to adhere to local laws of any country Twitter operates in, and he does not want it to become, quote unquote, a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no consequences, end quote. What he does not want is a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no consequences. You're free to think what you want to think, inexplicably. However, there are limitations to when your thought gets put out in words or print. It ain't just dirty pictures you got to worry about being leaked. And there can be good lessons learned in every other young person's mistakes. For example, if you want to join the FBI, you have to pass a lie detector test. You have to pass a thorough drug screen. However many panels, probably the most panels you can check. They want to know if you're on drugs. Not only do they want to know if you're on drugs, they want to know, were you on drugs at any point in your life? If you were, you're not qualified. If you say that you were not on drugs and you fail the lie detector test, you're not qualified. Why does that matter? Because when you're 17 years old and you don't think a stealing charge on your rap sheet is going to be that big of a deal because you know people doing time for murder, then you don't get the opportunity once you've matured to do some of the things that you wanted to do. In fact, getting a top secret security clearance in the military or a secret security clearance in the military to be able to fly and not be responsible, because they're all responsible, but to have one of those dream jobs, had you made a poor decision in your youth, you're no longer eligible and qualified for that. So words matter, actions matter all the time. So Twitter according to Elon Musk, is creating a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints, and there will be no major content decisions or account reinstatements before the creation of a content moderation council. In other words, you're going to still be banned until they can deem you worthy of an account. This is what social media is not for, just so you know. Bottom line up front, Twitter's policies have not changed. Hateful conduct has no place here. And we're taking steps to put a stop to an organized effort to make people think that we have. This is coming from Yoel Roth, Twitter's head of safety and integrity. This was yesterday, right? Bottom line up front, Twitter's policies have not changed. Hateful conduct has no place here. That should be phrase one of the next amendment of our Constitution. Before anything else is said, that's what's important right there. That's what's important right there. Hateful conduct has no place here. That's it. That's when you describe America, that sums it up in a nutshell. Hateful conduct has no place here. God bless America. It's that simple. Take your hateful conduct, go take it home. Unfortunately, you're going to teach your kids that, and then it snowballs. So Twitter claims there's an organized effort to make people think that it's just a free-for-all for everybody to just go be hateful. Over the past 48 hours, they've seen a small number of accounts post a ton of tweets that include slurs and other derogatory terms. More than 50,000 tweets repeatedly using a particular slur came from just 300 accounts, nearly all of them inauthentic. It's a trolling campaign. This, people, is not what social media is about, but we have to reel it in. You have to be able to think about this, what I said earlier. What we react to and what triggers us is on us. They know what they're doing. They're playing you for a fool, okay? You want to be played for a fool? This isn't just shopping for Christmas in November, fool. You're being played for a fool in your life, and we're buying it TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook, hook, line, and sinker. Inauthentic accounts are making a concerted effort to make people think different than the reality is, and we're buying it. You can add anything to that. The race war, the politics, the equality for women, and just everything, the triggers, the abortion, all of it. All these things coming from inauthentic accounts, trolling campaigns. They're playing us as suckers, and we're buying it. True statement, sad fact. So Fuentes, right? Nick Fuentes, the alleged white nationalist, I have no idea who he is. So he is the founder of America First Foundation, has been labeled by the Department of Justice as a white supremacist. They call America First Foundation a far-right and white nationalist organization labeled by the Department of Justice as a white supremacist group. He was first banned for repeated violations of content moderation rules in December of 2021 and has been banned on several other social media platforms as well. Stu Peters, radio show host, banned again, trying to rejoin the platform. So they are stopping people from spreading hatred and misinformation. But it's up to you to not be a sucker. It's up to you to not be made and played a fool. Just knowing that you can stand next to a product and your smartphone will pick up what you're standing by, word never spoken. You stand next to dog food long enough and dog food pops up in your social media advertisements. We accept that level of sucker, right? We accept that level of being played a fool because it actually works in our favor a little bit too. You usually don't shop things you don't want. And if it's something you want, they're going to be sending you coupons and reminders. And so it works in our favor too, but it works against us as well. But when they're using it for things like this to guide us to a certain emotion, it's up to us to not be triggered by it. But we do get triggered by it. In fact, just me saying white nationalist, white supremacist is emotionally inciting. I bet you if you check people's blood pressure when these words and phrases are mentioned, you would see an increase in blood pressure because we know they're trigger words. Right? You mentioned race, you better be talking about track and field. Otherwise, my heart's pumping a little bit faster. The vein in your neck starts pounding a little bit, you know. But why? We got to be able to see it. I said earlier, we control our emotions and then we're happier. We let people get us all spun up about things. They know what they're doing. I just proved it to you. They know what they're doing. It's an organized effort to make us think a certain kind of way when it's not necessarily true. You got to remember. It doesn't help that Elon Musk owns it and he's posting controversial things. He's not a journalist. He's not bound by any code of conduct or anything. But again, understanding your role, you got 112 million followers, understanding your role is important. What message are you trying to send? Why is everything got to be controversial? It doesn't, but we know that is what sells. So when it all comes down to money, that's what it is. And they try to say that Twitter can't make any money for Elon. Twitter was a no-profit purchase for the proud American. Wait, is he American? I don't even know. Maybe he is. I don't know. Don't matter. I'm not mad at the guy. I think more people are mad at him because they hate that he's rich than they do because of any other thing that he does. But again, as tuned in as I am to things, I'm tuned out of a lot of stuff. I don't know where Elon's from or what he's about, or if he's a sexist pig, or if he's a great, philanthropist. I have no idea. Doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the people I surround myself with. I try to align myself into a very small group now. And it's not about friends, it's about content. For my profession, I have to be knowledgeable of what's going on. For my peace of mind, I can't get triggered over everything that pisses me off, right? I can't do anything about the San Diego cop that beat up the black guy. I can't do anything about the nurse who's killing patients because they're putting Clorox bleach in the needle. I can't do anything about it, but yet I get all wound up about it and it throws me off of my chain in my life. And there's got to be a level of selfishness involved where you go, I can't let this affect me. We hear about it, we react. It's human nature. Put a sad dog story in front of me. It's a wrap. I'm done. But I have to be able to put it aside, I guess, put it on the proper shelf, understand this I can do nothing about. And we allow it to get us emotional. And sometimes knowing now that I just told you, and I don't lie, so a lot of things are being done because we're suckers, right? And they know it. We buy it hook, line, and sinker. They're making us feel a certain kind of way. They're guiding our shopping. They're guiding our information path. They're guiding our ability to verify things with fact checkers. Who are the fact checkers? We don't know, but whatever they say is fact because they checked it. No, ma'am, Pam, that ain't how it works. I mean, it's just me. It's just me. But we have to take that. Like we're talking about the shortage in potatoes. Grow potatoes. Shortage in tomatoes. Grow your own tomatoes. We got to quit relying on everybody for everything. I mean, damn. Grow some tomatoes. It ain't that hard. We see them all over the place. And it's not a one-all, be-all solution to things, but we got to engage our brains a little more. The younger people, and I'm not trying to sound like an old person, but the younger people need to have the tools to be able to survive. You don't hunt at the grocery store, right? You go buying stuff at the grocery store. I am not killing an animal and eating it, but I love a good steak. I love chicken. I'm not raising chicken and killing them and eating them. Not doing it. Not happening. They're pets. But I'll eat chicken. I'm not. So we make a trade-off. But I'm not going to sit and listen to you. If there's a shortage of chicken, I'm not going to eat chicken because I'm not going to buy any. Potatoes, I don't care. You have a shortage of potatoes. I'm growing some. If I have any extra, now we don't have a shortage of potatoes. They do, because you're going to be good too. When we all start doing that again, then we're getting somewhere of what America is about. Love thy neighbor. We automatically think of religion. Well, I'm not Christian. I don't believe in that. But that's part of the American fabric. Love thy neighbor. It's not a religious statement. It's a way to be. And if you can't love them, just don't tread on them. I mean, see, the verbiage is real simple. Don't tread on me. We've mentioned it twice already today. If nobody is tread upon, what's the problem? Oh, because we got people treading on each other. Oh, I'm transgender. You don't like that. Don't tread on me. You don't have to hang out with me. That's cool. Probably don't like you anyway. You know, maybe you're one of them guys that's like, I don't understand this whole thing. Maybe you're one of those guys that go, who cares? I mean, it doesn't matter. You either one, don't tread on me. If you're if you're racist, you don't like Latinos, you don't like black people, you don't like Italians, you don't like them Polacks, whatever. That's your right. When you express that verbally, when you express that through written form, when you express that through actions, it's noticed. It gets you nowhere. It's nothing but harmful and hurtful. No better feeling than being out. You feel like you look your best. You got your makeup on. You're going out, and you're walking in the door, and the two dudes walking out had a little bit too much to drink, and they're laughing at you. Makes you feel good, right? It makes them feel good because they get to laugh at somebody and belittle them. Makes them feel better. I'm guessing. I'm guessing, right? They feel better about themselves because they laughed at somebody that doesn't look and feel like them. Then we got to understand why they're doing it. And it's not because they're stupid. That's only part of it. It's because they weren't able to mature enough to go, none of this matters to me. I don't need to make myself feel better by making someone else feel less. I don't know. Just me. I mean, being an American to me means a lot different than to you. Maybe you're from another country completely and I was born and raised in America. My parents were both born and raised in America. My grandparents came over in the 30s. So I don't claim America, but I'm American. I claim America. I'm proud of this country. I understand where we're at. We have growing pains. We're a young, infantile country, one of the few prototypes, dare I say it that way, of a melting pot where all cultures do run together. Well, just like my music ran together. So, but all right, quick break, couple songs. When we get back, we're going to finish talking about what it means to be an American. We got some Halloween stories coming up for you. And for heaven's sake, stop picking your nose. It's more than just a little booger on the finger, right? Where do I put it when I'm done? There's more to it. Health repercussions from nose picking, okay? I mean, I'm just trying to help you. I'm not a doctor. We'll be right back. You're listening to Sapphire's Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. I think. There we go.
The Hey Love Saloon, where men meet men and everybody's welcome. Or the Cheers of the LGBT Detroit bars, Adam's Apple, where they know what time you're coming in, where you're sitting, what you're drinking, and what time you're going home.
And who you're going home with. Bunch of kinky fuckers.
Adam's Apple.
Little Johnny Kemp just got paid on a Friday. Wait, it's not Friday. No wonder this wasn't in there. Girl, who let me put the music program together? Can't trust a bitch. Uh-oh. Wrong one. I did just get paid, actually. It does feel like a Friday to me. I got paid today. Woo! Gotta love waking up on a Monday morning with money in the bank, baby. But my boss called, too, and needs me to do something. So my plans this afternoon changed. Actually, in the long run, it freed up more. So in the long run, I'm better off now than I was a little bit ago, as far as today goes. But I said day goes. You can't say that unless you're Italian. The bottom half. Good sausage either way. Polish, Italian. Can't go wrong. Well, what's going on out here? Nice and rainy. Oh, yeah. Rainy day. Hopefully it's not too rainy where you're at, but it probably will be. Beach snow. Or that word. Another thing, a pet peeve of mine is people, when someone dies, a celebrity dies, we all have to post it. I understand, though. I'm not mad at you. Weather. We live in Michigan. It starts flurrying a little bit in October, and everybody goes, snow, my God. Stop. It just makes you look bad. I don't know. Not stupid. Everybody, it's not a big deal. I'm not mad about it. It's not silly. But it's like, just everybody just needs to be connected. And we don't learn the lessons from all these things, though. Like, if we all feel the need to be connected, so many of us, when a loved one, or not a loved one, a celebrity dies, we have to connect ourselves if we can. When in the drag world, when a celebrity illusionist, they lose their celebrity illusion person, and God, I don't even want to jinx anybody, so I won't name any names. But if you impersonate a celebrity and that celebrity passes, you feel a connection to them. Like when Prince passed away, we knew people who impersonated Prince, and they felt like a connection. Like it was more than just a fan connected to the music. It felt like you were connected, even though there's no connection whatsoever. Golden Girls, Betty White passed, 99 years old. And we watched her like we lived with her. And when she died, everybody needed to feel the need to express it. And it's not wrong, but we have to be able to understand what we're doing and be able to understand why these companies are allowed to sucker play us like this. Because we let it. Because we're not able to catch it. And then sometimes, like a smartphone, you do catch it, and we go, we don't care. It's worth the trade-off. Whew, getting tired. I got a lot to do today now. Talk about filming football. It took me 3 or 4 weeks of a season to get a certain school's equipment for video filming proper, right? We don't know if there's a bad spot where the field is for an internet connection that interrupts a lot or what's going on. So it took us some time, and some time and effort to troubleshoot everything and get it working for this team. I go out there 2 times afterwards and film this team without a problem. I plug in one cable, plug the power into my outlet, and plug my cable into where it needs to go, and we're good to go. They got game footage on the film, and everything's squared away nice. I go back Saturday. Shit's unplugged from everything. It has no business being unplugged from. It indicates to people that don't know exactly what they're doing are touching the equipment. And then another clip that should have never been unplugged. Now the little clip part that pushes in is busted and it won't clip in all the way. Now, I've only got a little bit of time before the game starts to get this working. We couldn't get it working. So now the coach got a hold of me, or my boss got a hold of me. The coach got a hold of him and said, ask Sapphire if she can come get this equipment and fix it for us again. And I can. You're damn right I can. That's what I went to school for. But I didn't learn this in school. In school taught me to understand the things and then know how to be able to go find the information you need. Not everybody knows everything about everything in their field. You got to know how to go get that information sometimes. And that's what I did. I took it upon myself to learn about it because I was going to be operating the equipment. And now they go to me for all of it because the owner of the company goes, I don't know anything about this stuff. I know very little. I educated myself on it so that I knew my shit, and now I know my shit. It wasn't no miracle. I'm not a natural. I had to learn it. I don't know nothing about cameras, but now I do. I know my lighting's whack right now. But actually, it's not terrible. But I've got natural lighting from outside coming in, even though it's a gray, rainy day. I got the computer screens. Then I got the regular lighting that we use. Then I've also got the fluorescent light up above. So all in all, except for the glare off my glasses, you can't even tell what color my eyes are, probably. Red, white, and blue, baby. I'm tired, what? I got music playing, you don't. You can't sit here and listen. Little Rehab. It Don't Matter. That's the name of the song. Rehab is the name of the band. My mom heard a little bit of it and said, it sounds like that's what they need. I said, oh, yeah. They could have used a little rehab, but they wouldn't have been able to write these big hits. Uh-oh. Got a message. Is that my boss going, you're too much? Uh-oh. I'm not being rude. I'm just being rude. My partners, we got a neighbor who's not conforming to anything. Yard's a mess, broken down vehicle, blocking his driveway, sticking out in the road, scraped 2 stickers off of it for towing. Now the cops are out there again. Sticker number 3, or are they going to tow this thing finally? I feel bad for the guy, man. But then yesterday I'm working in my yard and everything, and our yard looks beautiful now. We got the maple tree, which is 100% fallen now. So the backyard, beautiful. You can go out there and have a picnic if you wanted to. Front yard still got a little bit of leaves in the tree. That's later tree fall. So the leaves fall later. So that's just a matter of putting them into the street. In the city we live in, we can put our leaves in the street and leave them, and they sweep them up, or they scoop them up with a big vacuum thing, the suction cup, on the front of a truck. This guy's truck's been sitting out there for 3 weeks now. And the cops came, put an orange sticker on it. He scraped it off. Cops came back, put another sticker on it. He scraped it off. So now they're out front again. I miss all the fun, man. And I just want him to conform. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't fit into what American standards are usually, which is clean your yard, take care of it and stuff. And he keeps getting tickets for debris in his yard, for not cutting his grass, for his broke down vehicle. And I want to go up to him and go, do you need help understanding? Because he doesn't speak a ton of English. We've spoken. And he's a super nice guy. But man, it's like, dude, you got to conform a little bit. And it's what made that, to me, part of being an American is your yard work. And actually, like, I'm out there redoing the front, tore out big, huge bushes, and the roots are down in the ground like crazy. And I'm digging them all out. And it's hard work. I love it. It's because I'm in tune with the earth. It feels good. I don't have the music playing, nothing. He's got 2 vans out there. He's got his work van that's broke down, and he's got his new work van that he's using or leasing or borrowing from somebody, it looks like. And now that one's getting a ticket because it's garbage day, baby. In our city, you can put your leaves right in the street. They suck it up. And then they come sweep the streets up, and they clean the streets every Monday. I think they once a month sweep them. And they're doing leaves now, so they're going to be sweeping them streets, and they don't need vehicles in the way. They don't play with that, nor should they. But that's another thing I don't understand from people. We know the rules. Why do we feel the need to bend and break them? You know, we're not special. If the speed limit's 40, I can understand doing 45. But 50? 55? Well, there ain't no cops around. But so what? What about other people? Just a common law and order. And I know Trump said it, so people think it's a bad thing now, but no, it's not. Law and order is necessary. We all want law and order when our family and loved ones are affected by criminality. Watch the news in any big city when you get home today, or even at noon. There'll be a crying family from a loved one who's been killed, and they were such good people. They loved everyone. Everyone loved them. It's so not fair. Everyone feels that way about their kids, even the ones who are out there killing each other. When they get their turn given to them, then they go, oh, wait, now we loved him. He was a good guy, you know, blah, blah, blah. But hey, okay, well, prove it. We got one more song after this. We come back at 9:33. You're going to learn today, Bubba. I know I'm on break, whatever. This is my break. I could turn the camera off, but I like seeing you. Even though I don't see you, you see me, and I apologize for that. But I did shower. Washed my hair, lightened it too, see? Yesterday was a very good day for me. Out in the yard working. I wanted to beat the rain, and then it ended up not raining until way later in the evening, which was a good thing. But just getting out there working in the yard, man, it feels good. Not everybody likes yard work, but it is good for the soul. You get to put your fingers in the earth and just the smells and natural. I love it. I love it. I'm getting old maybe, but whatever. Another half an hour. And I'm out of here. I'm getting over 500 views on my reels. Big deal. People love that stuff. Oh, I got 500 likes. Oh, I got 1,000 friends. Who gives a shit? I want to go to Frankenmuth soon. Go see Maddie Speed. Go get some chicken dinner. $40 chicken dinner that's worth about $20, but AJ Peterson checking in up northern Michigan. My favorite day of the year. And they got decent weather up there. Good. Good for you. Minute and a half. I think it's going to be, I got to see if I can get to the Apple for Mexican Monday in my travels today. I'm going to try anyway. Bitches. Maybe even play some pool later. We'll see what happens. I got things to do though, man. Responsibilities can be a bitch for an adult. It really sucks. I mean, I love my jobs, but it sucks sometimes. Nelly, Hot in Here is playing. No, it's not hot in here, Nelly. Actually, I'm thinking about adding a layer or two, not taking off all my clothes. It's one of those days where it's actually warm for the temperature. It's in the mid 50s. It's going to be 60-something degrees today up in Michigan. It's the cold chill because of the rain, though. It's that winter chill instead of the warm summer. But whatever. Who cares, right? Nobody. All right. It only sucks if you let it. All right. We are back. You're listening to Sapphire's Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. Thank you for tuning in on this Halloween, whether it's morning, noon, or it can't be night where you're at. I have no idea unless we're on Uranus. It might be dark in the abyss. I don't know. The dark depths of Uranus. A whole another exploratory trip right there for sure. Oh, don't ask me. I'm just working here. Lot going on today for Halloween. Kids are excited. Let's face it, it's exciting. I was just looking at my social media. A dear friend of mine, AJ, her favorite day of the year. And they got good weather where she's at. So good for you. Enjoy. Have a blast. What more can you ask for? All right. Woman, this is a good story. Woman not only breaks the glass ceiling, she smashes the hell out of it, becoming the first black and blind barrister in the UK. I mean, this is a good story. Jessica Inaba, 23 years old. Qualified last week after studying for 5 years at the University of Law in London. She's blind, she's black, and she's badass. She managed to complete her entire course using Braille and credits her friends and tutors for helping her fill in the gaps when needed. It takes a village, it takes a team. And that's proof right there. Jessica has now joined the bar and is believed to be the first black and blind person to ever do so. She's from Camden, North London. She said, it's been crazy. I still really can't believe that I've done this. One day I'll wake up and realize just how amazing this is. She says it was very hard. She often thought about giving up. A very good lesson out there. When everything seems to be going against you, life's not fair. You're born blind. You've got other obstacles in front of you. You challenged them, you hurdled them, and she often thought of giving up. But support from the family gave her strength and courage to continue. This is so important. When you look at your child and your child says, I want to be, insert career, profession, whatever here, never discourage them. Never. It's not a surprise that you want to achieve great things. Instill that in your children. This is what we're here for, to do great by ourselves. Now, my level of greatness is different than what you achieve to be, or what you might aspire to be, right? To some, raising your children, and that's it, quote unquote, that you've ever done. Nobody knows who you are. And that's complete and utter success. Other people, maybe they never had children at all, but they're world known and they're successful. But they cry themselves to bed at night wishing they had some significant thing in their life other than money and fame. So there's always that. Never give up on yourself, but you have to be able to embrace the people around you, support their dreams, and make it happen. Tanya Brown, Supreme Court Justice. We told about that story. We talked about that story. In the 1950s, her black parents had a stay-at-home dad studying school while the mom went out and worked. Don't tell me they didn't get a lot of crap for that one. But they made it work for them. And they taught their daughter to achieve great things. Now, Jessica Inaba says, I always believed in myself from the start. There's nothing about me, which means this is not possible. So everything we can do, we can do. Everything that we want to do, we can do. And here's the biggest thing at the end of it all the struggles, all the thinking about quitting, all the encouragement from friends, I'm sure a lot of tears, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of missed meals. Now, she says, it's a really good feeling. Well, yeah, it's called gratification. It's called self-satisfaction. It's not about gloating. It's not about conceit. It's about putting your mind to something, challenging yourself, and doing it. Believe in yourself. If not you, who? If not now, when? What? Somebody else in 5 years? That doesn't do anything for your life. It doesn't bode you well. So she said it's a really good feeling. Not only does she achieve something for herself, now she knows she can conquer her world. When you say I'm going to conquer the world, it's your world, right? You're not going to conquer the whole world. You're conquering your world. It's you. Now she says, I know I'm giving hope to others in similar situations to mine. There's a triple glazed glass ceiling. That's end quote from her. Knowing that this may never come to anything for you, you still did it. And now you realized you can do it. And if you can do that, What's stopping you from doing the next thing you choose to do? All in Braille, relying on other people, a team. She says, quote, I'm not the most common gender or color, and I have a disability, but by pushing through, I'm easing the burden on the next person like me. Anybody sitting at home right now thinking you can't do something because of your the way you were born, because of whatever quote unquote disability you have. I don't even like that word, right? I don't even like that word, right? The ability to do something is different than a disability, even though it is you're not able to. It's just a thought process. I don't know. Completely blind. It's not like she's partially blind, fuzzy. No, she's blind. Used Braille. Now, an accelerated law degree before earning a master's 2 years later while doing this professional law course. I mean, we got to understand what this means, right? It's important to build our kids up. We're sitting here talking about what it means to be an American. We're talking about why these MSU students lost accountability for their actions and did what they did. The attack on Paul Pelosi, all of this stuff. We talked about the guy punching the woman in the face and then kicking the cop in the nuts and then doing it again when he got out of jail 6 days later. This is not what it's all about. These stories of a blind woman who beats the odds and becomes a barrister as a blind black woman in the United Kingdom, the first ever. These are the stories that little children need to hear to say, wait a minute, just because I have insert situation here, born with one arm, born with one leg, whatever the situation, you are worthy. You are, I mean, I don't even know how else to put it. You're worthy. You're no different than anybody else. We're all different in our own way. And I'm not minimalizing anything. I'm trying to put it into a perspective that we limit ourselves based on society's limits. Remember, back in the day, if you wanted to be a stewardess, you were 5'5" or less, and you probably didn't weigh more than about $125. In other words, they considered you hot. They said, we don't need no heifers bumping through the aisle seats trying to serve drinks. That ain't it. That ain't it at all. You want hot women doing these jobs, right? That's the way it was. But now equality says, there might still be limitations on things, but it can't be geared toward beauty. This lady worked so hard to be a barrister that she was hospitalized because she kept fainting because she was functioning on 2 or 3 hours of sleep a night for 2 years. Now, I don't recommend that. I mean, I'm all about getting, being motivated and stuff like that. But in order to be your best, we already know. Well, we don't know. Proper diet's important, but we in America do not follow proper diet. Well, most of us don't. That's why we have an obesity problem. That's why we have a diabetes problem. We allow other people to create our diet. I know for me, when I'm busy, football season's the worst. I eat like junk. I mean, I leave work and I'm driving. I have no time to get nothing. What do? Fast food. It's the simplest thing to do, especially when you're driving and you're going to eat in the car when you get to where you're going. So you have no Like you're not sitting down to eat and you're, trying not to spill it all over your car. Of course, you're not driving at the time. You wait till you get to your destination. Don't be one of those that are driving around trying to eat a hamburger while you're driving 75 down the road with your knee. Let's see where we at. I got to get to the nose picking. Stop picking your nose. It's not good for you. It's actually, I'm just going to say it. Picking your nose, I know what you're getting at. You're thinking germ related, right? Well, you're onto something, but nose picking increases your risk for Alzheimer's and dementia. I'm not a doctor. I'm here to help, though. Okay, to summarize it, the chlamydia pneumoniae bacteria can travel directly from olfactory nerve in the nose and into the brain, forcing brain cells to deposit amyloid beta and induces Alzheimer's pathologies. Protecting the lining of the nose by not picking or plucking nasal hairs can help lower your risk of Alzheimer's. So if your mustache is growing out of your nostrils now, you're not getting laid, but you're going to live a long time. Let's just put all this together. Our nose, chlamydia pneumoniae bacteria, can travel directly from the olfactory nerve in the nose and into the brain. So Griffith University researchers have demonstrated that a bacteria can travel through the olfactory nerve in the nose and into the brain in mice, where it creates markers that are telltale signs of Alzheimer's disease. This study was published in the Journal of Scientific Reports, and it showed that chlamydia pneumoniae uses the nerve extending between the nasal cavity and the brain as an invasive path to invade the central nervous system. The cells in the get your nose out of your mouth. Never mind. Get your finger out of your nose and get your finger out of your mouth. Get your nose out of your mouth. That made sense. The cells in the brain then responded by depositing amyloid beta protein, which is a hallmark of Alzheimer's. Quit picking your nose. I've seen, so plucking your nose hairs is not a good idea. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like seeing a lot of nose hair on people. Like, I don't know if it's just guys who grow a lot of nose hair or what, but I don't know. It seems to me like, who studies this stuff? Smell tests have potential detectors for Alzheimer's and dementia. A loss of sense of smell is an early indicator of Alzheimer's. So they're suggesting now smell tests from the age of 60 could be beneficial as an early detector. Don't pick your nose. You might get Alzheimer's. It sounds like, well, come on. But, we don't understand everything. First of all, you think about it. If you didn't wash your hand before you pick your nose, yeah, you're putting stuff up there you don't know about, right? And if you're a butt picker and a nose picker, I don't even have to go into details about what you're in for, right? Just don't do it. You're welcome. I don't even know we can't even top that story. Don't pick your nose. It could backfire. All right, it's Halloween. Don't pick your neighbor's nose either. Remember the old saying, you can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Unless you have a really peculiar relationship, which I don't want to be anywhere near. You could call it a fling. Get it? You fling the booger? Never mind. Whatever. On that note, it's about time to get out of here for the day. It doesn't even feel like Monday. My Fridays don't feel like Fridays. My Mondays don't feel like Mondays. I wish I could just give a little bit of this feeling to you, and you can see how life can be great when you don't care about nothing. Because I don't really care about nothing. I'm just me. That's it. Just kidding. Of course I'm kidding. I care about everybody a little bit. That's the idea. But you still got to care about yourself some, you know. But we talked about a lot today. And we didn't even get to really talk too much about what it means to be an American. But I think through all of our conversation, we can surmise that it's about being able to be who you are without any repercussions. And we're obviously far from that. But anywho, enjoy your wonderful Halloween. I know I'm going to when I'm done doing all my adult responsibilities. Bob's not able to make it back today. He's got a lot going on, but that's okay. We'll be back Wednesday with hopefully a lot of candy, hopefully a lot of pictures from everybody with their Grego checking in. Good morning on the way out, saying good morning and goodbye to Greg. Thanks for chiming in and checking in today. We're out of here. Thank you for letting us in your house, car, or wherever you were listening today. And remember, opinions are a dime a dozen. Validation is for parking, and loyalty is not a word. It's a lifestyle. Life is too short to put your key to happiness in anybody else's pocket other than your own, and front pocket, so you can keep good track of it. Don't need nobody pickpocketing your happiness now. In a world where we can be anything, be kind. We have no idea what a kind word and a friendly smile can do to impact someone's day, maybe even impact and change their life forever. All right, we're out of here. Have a good day. Bye-bye. All right, that does it. We're out. I got work to do, people to see. A woman's work is never done. It's the way we roll. All right, have a great day. Happy Halloween. Be safe. Look out for cars. If you're out there with your children, don't be drinking. Don't be smoking. Make sure you got a designated walker. Stay off of the streets. Assume every car out there is going to hit you, and get home safe. Halloween's supposed to be safe, but it's a dangerous, dark night. It's supposed to be. So we need due diligence to watch out for ourselves. Because you have the right of way doesn't mean somebody won't impede that. And there's no second chances. Thanks for watching. See you Wednesday. Bye-bye.